All right, welcome back to another rubber stamp history show and tell catalog flip through. This is by the company Graphistamps, and this catalog is from 1985, so really going back there. I think I probably picked this catalog up from a Stamp in the Hand company. They used to carry, I believe, some of the Graphistamps stamps. I don't know if we carried them in our booth or in the stores, but she probably had a couple more recent catalogs than this, and I asked her if I could take this one with me back when. I really love this catalog in terms of their curated grouping of kind of a small range of designs, but not small by 1985 standards at all. To have hundreds of designs at that time, for just a handful of companies that were around at that time, it was quite large. I never saw Graphistamps at the various shows that we went to, or at least I don't remember seeing them. They might have been at Carson or at Rubberama and whatnot. Um, but I think that would have been early on. Um, I don't recall them being around when I started doing shows with Stampscapes, okay, which had been around 1993. I think they were primarily a wholesale company. That's what I'm just guessing. I don't know. If you've been to some shows and you saw them around, maybe put a comment in the comments section. But I couldn't find any information on Graphistamps. Um, and I looked up some of the names that were noted in the back. I have no idea who owned it or ran it, but I think I might have a clue there's someone's name in the back, and I just checked out their website, but otherwise I couldn't find a thing. Okay, so anyways, one of the things about them is you can really tell that someone really knew what they were doing in terms of illustration and design. Just the way that this catalog is made up here is professionally designed. It's very obvious there are three color printing or four color printing here that they've chosen. It saved in money. They didn't have to do color separations and everything like that, but you can see these colors repeated throughout the book in a very kind of targeted manner. I just love the whole style of this. But anyways, here fanciful designs here. Hearts for Valentine's. Back in the day, what you'd want is kind of a wide selection of types of designs especially if you were wholesaling, so you can hit all these different markets. Okay, there weren't rubber stamp stores back in the mid 80s. Maybe in the later 80s, there were a few around, and there wouldn't have been a lot of that type of thing going around. I'm talking about in the entire world, okay? So you wanted to hit these targeted markets like gift stores and things like that. And, teachers, educators, just general types of stamps here. I mean, they're very specific in terms of the design style, but from the desk of airmail, you know, um, postal faux postage stamps are really popular at the time. None of these are faux postage, but you might stamp this type of thing on your envelope to kind of decorate it, first class here, your memo for notations and whatnot. I really liked all their animals, which we'll get to, which are in the back here, but these celestial ones are really cool. I don't remember which ones the Stamp of the Hand carried, but I remember seeing them. But, okay, going back to that idea of kind of these targeted markets, I would see their stamps in different types of stores. I'm trying to remember where or some examples of it, but I used to really like going to places like natural history museums, and I'm guessing I might have seen them in some gift stores like that, or I don't know, maybe the Monterey Bay Aquarium with some of their sea mammal types of imagery in their gift store. That type of thing. That's where I saw these stamps being carried in some little display or, just something like that. Celebrations here, Christmas, parties, birthday types of things. Activities, the arts here. This is really something right here, the alphabets, and just such an elaborate letter forms in here, just really well done. I mean, this might not appear like anything these days, but if this is a hand designed grouping of letters, that font there that they created is really amazing. What's amazing to me in terms of kind of a production standpoint are these are all individual stamps to be sold. They're not in some kind of set, or back then they didn't sell like unmounted sets. I mean, that was, 20 years after that or something like that, where you started seeing, just rubber sheets or something like that being sold. So all of these are all wood-mounted designs. And just whoever did these fonts and these letter forms like this really knew what they were doing, for sure. Food here, decorative. Look at these little frames and things like that. Patterns and whatnot, you can just kind of repeat them over and over again. Animals, farm animals. Yeah, just really nicely designed. I looked in the back, and I have a feel. I think the ones that don't have a an initial have all been designed by this other artist, the main artist from this. Okay, so anyways, you have things like animals and things like this, marine life. Okay, so the impetus for the precursor for Stampscape stamps, which are some of my nature sets now, the nature sets number 1 through 3. I designed for a Stamp of the Hand company, and the idea for those ones, there weren't any modular nature designs at the time. There were isolated groupings of, some nature designs in different catalogs and whatnot, but there really wasn't this cohesive grouping in any one from any one manufacturer. So I came out with some mountains and streams and other types of elements like that, sky elements, clouds and whatnot. But I'd imagined them being used as backgrounds. I didn't imagine scenic stamping, creating a whole, kind of niche genre within rubber stamping. But things like these eagles and things like that, swan here, an otter, whatever, dolphin. I imagine those designs that was doing as being kind of backgrounds or settings for other types of images like this. And I don't know. I came out with several types of designs back in the day. And there were a lot of other companies that made things like wildlife and whatnot. But looking back at this, it kind of brings back some memories in terms of types of things that I was thinking about at the time. More wild animals and whatnot. Just really nicely rendered designs. They really know what they were doing in terms of their pen and ink work and shading and texture and whatnot, and negative space, and just really finely detailed drawings when it comes to that. And again, just a really nicely curated grouping of designs, kind of miscellaneous ones and whatnot. But I really liked them in terms of I don't know, just the spirit of the company and the collection. And I don't know, yeah. Does anyone remember Graphistamps that's watching this video? And just out of curiosity, do you have any of their stamps, or did you see them at any of those different shows? Like I said, I don't remember them being at those shows. They might have been at some of them. I don't remember them at Carson or, very much by the time I started, going to shows and kind of walking around the shows and really being aware of, the different companies out there. But I don't know, just out of curiosity. But I'm going to email this person that's in the back here. Their name shows up as the kind of the main person, and it's not done in alphabetical order, so I have a feeling that she could possibly have been the main designer and company owner, and see what she has to say. But just really great stuff, and I don't know, it's probably the oldest catalog I have for sure, because it predates the time that I started working for a Stamp of the Hand company, but just really fantastic, and the design of this really holds up, today. It doesn't look dated at all in terms of the font choices and everything like that. Just super stylish. But anyways, another quick flip through of this catalog here, and I thank you for watching, and until the next video.